Hi, my name is Awena from Chicago. Please like and subscribe. My mom had me when she was in her final year of drama school. Growing up, Dad wasn't around much and eventually left when I was just 4. For me, my mom was everything and I absolutely adored her. Since my mom was the most gorgeous woman, people used to think we were sisters. She was gorgeous and I guess I got my good looks from her. One time when I was 7, Mom and I went to the mall and were having lunch in the food court and a waiter asked for her number.
You look like you're in high school, baited kid, or else I'll tell your manager. A mom and a daughter can't have lunch in peace.
After lunch, while we were strolling around, we saw a dance competition. I joined the competition at my mom's suggestion, even though I had never danced before, and to my surprise, I won. When the people started taking pictures of me and told my mom how I looked like Moana, Mom was over the moon.
I know, right? I'm so going to make her a star.
When we got home, I asked Mom about what she had said that morning. Mommy, like the stars in the sky or like the ones on my dress?
A movie star, sweetie.
From there on, Mom focused all her energy into making me a star. In school, I was always in plays, and one time, the school organized a play about a princess and a witch, and my teacher decided to give others a chance to come forward and made me the wicked witch instead of princess. But guess what? I aced that role too. Mom was so proud of me, but she wanted me to focus only on my acting career, so she started to homeschool me and hired acting tutors. They'd give me long scripts to memorize, and it would just exhaust me. Mom also wanted me to focus on maintaining an ideal weight, and she wouldn't let me eat any junk food, and worse, no ramen noodles, which was my favorite.
It's for the best, my love. Remember a moment on the lips, forever on the hips.
Oh, that wasn't all. Mom also had the knack of embarrassment and stressed me out.
No, it's not Giacho. It's pronounced Giacho. What am I paying you for?
Mom, please. He is Italian. You know, I think you should let the professional do his job.
But he's not doing it right. The audition is tomorrow, and we have so little time left to perfect your Italian accent.
Well, the teachers stormed out and I was left to practice with Mom. The next day, I was pretty nervous because I had a lot of trouble remembering my Italian lines. Right when I decided to have another look at the script, I realized it was gone. Just then I spotted a girl looking really sneaky. It was Chloe. She used to be my friend when I started out my career, but the more roles I got, the more she hated me and she didn't even try to hide it. We were always up against each other. For every advertisement, I followed her and what I saw made me scream. Chloe threw my script into the trash. What are you doing?
So you're not just bad at acting, you also have bad eyesight. I'm getting rid of it, duh. I want this role. I hate it when my mom keeps comparing me to you. I am better than you.
Oh, this witch, I wanted to slap her. Of course she compares me to you. I'm good at what I do. Unlike you jealous two-faced witch. Chloe stormed off angrily, and while chasing after her, I bumped into a man, almost making him drop his camera. He noticed I was in tears and then I told him what happened.
Whoa, didn't know she was a nasty player, huh? You know what?
Just then he pulled out the script and gave it to me. He was the camera person for the advertisement and had the script with him. As I was practicing, I noticed him setting up the camera and couldn't stop staring. He then showed me how to set it up and even shot a video as I watched. And that was the day I knew I loved being behind the camera more than in front of it. Time flew by and on my 18th birthday I received the best news ever. After the party, while cleaning up, I heard the sound of glass breaking and my mom screaming in the kitchen. Mom, what's wrong? Are you hurt?
You got it. Oh my god, you got it.
Mom, slow down.
You got the audition for Elijah film.
Elijah Miller's film? The most award-winning director? I'm a huge fan of his. I couldn't believe it. I guess it was the first time I felt like I could really be a star. Really hard, and seeing me so focused, Mom looked pretty happy.
There is no way you aren't getting this role.
Mom, I am excited but don't get my hopes up.
Why shouldn't I always have your eye on the prize? Got it.
A day before the audition, I felt very stressed, so I took my camera and stepped out to get some fresh air. I bought the camera after an audition years ago. I began shooting videos every time I felt overwhelmed with the stress of auditions, but the most I did was make reels and put it up on Instagram under a different account. The videos did very well and many people appreciated my work and even suggested I send it to filmmakers. But I had to focus on becoming an actor, Mom's dream and all. The day of my audition had finally arrived. I was shaking with excitement and nerves. Mom was there as always to support me on this big day. We suddenly saw some of the actors run with their friends and family members towards the door. My eyes almost popped out of my socket when I saw the Elijah Miller walk in. What happened next dropped my jaw on the floor.
Sachin?
Oh my god, Elijah, it's been a long time. You still remember me.
My mother knew Elijah Miller? What the heck? They kept talking and laughing like they've known each other for years. And they did. Turns out Elijah studied at the same school as Mom and knew each other. She then introduced me to him, and I tried my best not to throw up, scream, and cry all at the same time.
Awena, it's nice to finally meet you. The last time I saw you was when you were a baby.
It's nice to meet you too. I'm a big fan of your work. Elijah Miller saw me as a baby. What? Okay, Mom talks about everything under the sun to me, and she keeps this important information to herself. But oh my god, Elijah Miller knows me. Mom, Mom sent me away so she could talk to Elijah. As I walked towards the room, I felt someone's leg before I tripped and fell screaming in pain. Everyone came rushing towards me and I noticed my ankle was beginning to swell up. It was that snake again, Chloe.
Oh my god, Awena, are you alright? How dare she?
And then I heard Mom yell like crazy and soon Chloe was taken away.
Looks like everyone saw her trip me. Let me go. She's always taking my roles.
Wow, I didn't know she hated me that much. Mom helped me up and took me to the room where my audition was taking place. Even though I tried to do my best given the situation, I still felt on edge and began stuttering. Mom then suddenly walked up to Elijah.
She is good, trust me, it's just the foot, just let her finish.
And then Elijah did the most weird thing. He handed Mom my script.
I trust you, Sachin. After all, she is your daughter.
Well, the audition went well, or so I thought, but days had gone by and I stopped waiting by the phone to hear news about my audition. I had almost given up hope, but one day, when Mom and I were watching a movie at home, her phone rang and she went ultrasonic after she cut the call.
Awena.
Mom, words?
You got a role in Elijah movie.
You're kidding, right? I'm sure I ruined it.
No, you didn't, but it isn't the one you auditioned for. They said someone else got that and you got the other one, which is like the second lead.
Mom, it doesn't matter. I get to act. In Elijah's movie, Mom and I were screaming our lungs out when the doorbell rang and Elijah walked in. What is he doing here?
Sorry for showing up unannounced. I just wanted to personally give the good news.
We just got the call about Awena being cast in the movie.
Oh yes, congratulations, Awena, but that's not what I'm here for. Sachin, I have decided to cast you for the lead role. I know you didn't audition, but
What the what?
Exactly, Elijah, I didn't audition.
I want you for the role, only you.
Oh my, really? Awena isn't that great?
I felt so hurt and betrayed, and when Elijah left, I spat. You're kidding, right? You can't take this role.
Why not?
I can't believe this. I walked away from Mom and ignored her for days. My anger towards this whole situation was just increasing. One day, when I went out to clear my mind with my camera while I was recording for my video, I was surprised to see Elijah appear in the frame. He was sitting in the restaurant with my mom. Here I was struggling with my sprained ankle, feeling guilty, betrayed, and used because of her. And she's having lunch dates with him. I cannot believe her. The minute she reached home after her date with Elijah, I exploded. How could you? This is why you came along with me to the audition. You wanted it all along. You put this big dream over my head for years just to snatch it away.
Honey, what are you talking about? There's some misunderstanding. Awena, you know I would never do that. It's always been my dream to see you become a big star. Why would I?
Yeah, right. Your dream to see yourself become the star, not me. You are a selfish person. You used me to get this audition and now you're flirting with Elijah to get this role. The role you prepared me for all these years. You know something? I didn't even want to be an actor. I wanted to do it for you, to make you proud.
But Awena, honey, I thought you liked it. Why didn't you ever tell me you weren't into this?
Oh, forget about it. I wish I left with Dad. Maybe then I wouldn't have been used like this. The second the words left my mouth and I saw my mom's face, my heart broke, but the feeling of betrayal overpowered me. Days passed by and every time I saw Mom around the house, I would walk the opposite way. She tried to talk to me and would get me food, but I ignored all of it. One day, I decided to stay out the entire day. I didn't want to see her face and say awful things to her again. Great, I'm still thinking about how she'll feel. As I was busy recording some videos, I saw a car with tinted windows slow down next to me. Like my life wasn't bad enough, and now I have some creep who might kidnap me. Right as I was about to try and run, the window rolled down and I saw Elijah smiling at me. He offered to drop me home and I accepted only because of my sprained ankle.
So, still angry at Mom?
How did he know?
That day I wasn't exactly out of the house yet when you… Anyway, I wanted to tell you that it's not Sachin's fault, you know. This was her role, from the beginning.
Her role. And then Elijah told me the most shocking thing. He has always had an elephant-sized crush on Mom since school, and he wrote this script with her in mind. He asked Mom several times to act in the film, but she kept denying, and when she agreed, she found out she was having me.
I told her that she can do this role after you were old enough as well, but she said being an actor wasn't her dream anymore. You were. But I never stopped trying. I even met her one afternoon to convince her, but she said no. Looks like I'll have to scrap the idea to ever make this movie.
I was in a state of shock and felt extremely guilty. As soon as we reached home, I thanked Elijah and rushed inside straight to Mom and hugged her.
Awena, where have you been?
Mom, I am so sorry for saying such awful things.
It's fine, honey. You were angry and I understand. I'm sorry too, but I want to tell you that I didn't take the role. I don't want anything to come between us, ever.
But you have to take the role. It's been yours from the beginning. I know Elijah told me everything. He won't do the movie without you.
But honey, I can't.
No buts. Now please let Elijah know before he announces it publicly that the movie is scrapped.
Okay, but let's first have this.
Mom then gave me a bowl of steaming ramen noodles and I almost screamed with happiness. The next morning, Mom contacted Elijah to let him know that she would take the role. Elijah even offered me the role of an intern so I would learn more about filmmaking. A few years after the movie, Elijah asked Mom to marry him and she said yes. And me, I went to film school and got a degree in filmmaking. But before I finish the story, I want to remind you that throwing away other people's things is not okay. We must respect each other's privacy.
Hi, I'm Savannah from Chicago. Please like and subscribe. I never knew my mom because she fell ill soon after I was born, but my dad named me after her. He was a real estate tycoon, and my older twin brothers and I grew up in the lap of luxury. Dad loved us all, but I was his clear favorite. I don't remember him missing a single parent, teacher meeting, recital, birthday, or game practice, no matter how busy he was. And I only had to ask for something once, and he made it happen. Like when I was 7, my favorite cereal brand just announced they're hiding Disney princess figures in select boxes, and I wanted to collect the whole set. Not that I couldn't buy them from a toy store, I just really wanted the cereal ones. So, the next day, Dad had cereal boxes from every store in the city delivered to our mansion, and the entire household spent 3 days opening them till I had the whole range of figures. I even made it to the local news for that, and I always got my way with my brothers Adam and Jeff too. Hey, get up! I was sitting in that chair first.
When were you sitting here?
Yesterday or maybe on Sunday. It's not important. Just get up.
Buzz off and sit somewhere else. Loser!
I'm warning you, Adam. I'm gonna cry. He ignored me, and then I went at a scream like someone had cut my arm off. Dad came running in a panic, and Adam was grounded before he got 2 words out of his mouth. My brothers kept trying to get back at me, but they just couldn't win. Once when I was 10, I was playing in her backyard, when a scrawny little puppy wandered in, and I was immediately in love with it. It turned out that he belonged to one of our maids, and she seemed reluctant to let him go. Dad said he'd get me a better dog, but I threw one of my famous tantrums, and the maid eventually gave in. But later that night, when I took him out for a walk, I found a girl my age crying in the garden. The puppy ran out of my grasp, straight to her, and she squealed with delight. Hey, let him go. He's mine.
Actually, he's mine. My mom gave him to you because she works for you and you're a spoiled brat. Look, I don't want to cause any trouble for Mom, okay? I just came to say goodbye to him. Can I?
As the girl hugged her pet, I suddenly had a lump in my throat. I felt like such a jerk, just taking away something from someone without even thinking, just because I could. You can have him back. Your mom won't be in any trouble, I promise. But maybe I can play with him sometimes. The maid's daughter and I became friends, and maybe it was her effect on me. But I slowly started seeing that my brothers and I were just too spoiled. I once joked with Dad about wanting a private jet, and he asked me what color I'd like. Dad, I was kidding. I'm 13. Where would I go on a private jet? You really need to learn how to say no sometimes. But he just couldn't, and my brothers took full advantage of it. They failed their classes, but they knew Dad would pay the school off to make them pass. They were the heads of all the sports clubs without deserving it, and obviously the most popular guys around, because they blew money on wild parties for their friends. Soon after the twins' 18th birthday, Dad decided they needed to learn more about his business, and he wanted me to join in too. But during these meetings, the things I learned just shot me.
Now look at this mansion I sold last month. There was mold in the basement and the foundation had water damage. But we did a really good job covering it up and I sold it for 4 times its real value.
Wow, Dad, you're a genius. I had no idea you were such a cool cat.
What? That's just plain wrong. How could you sell someone a damaged house and they could sue you?
Honey, relax. I've been in the business a long time. They can't prove we knew about this damage already. And don't worry, the insurance will cover it.
But it's still dishonest.
So, no man can make as much money as I have by being honest all the time. Everyone cuts corners. It's how things are done and I'm doing all this for you guys.
No one asked you to, Dad. You know you've always been my role model and my favorite person in the world. How could you be so disappointing?
That's enough, Savannah. Don't be ungrateful.
After that, things were never quite the same between me and Dad. I'd always put him on the highest pedestal and he'd just fallen so far. It completely changed my relationship with him. And I knew one thing for sure. I I wasn't going to be part of the family business. I'd always loved to paint, so I started working harder to build a good portfolio and apply for scholarships to art schools. I knew Dad would pay in the blink of an eye, but I wanted to try doing things on my own. But a few weeks after I started art school, Dad suffered a major heart attack. When he finally came home from the hospital, he gathered my brothers and me into a study and made an announcement.
Kids, I'm giving you my business and my wealth. I don't want you to wait longer to inherit everything that's yours.
I was stunned, but I could see the greedy excitement in my brother's eyes.
Really? So what do we get?
Everything! I've made all the arrangements. All I ask is that you enjoy what you've been given to the fullest, and that you let me stay with you throughout the year. I'll split my time among your 3 homes wherever you choose to live.
This is amazing! And of course you can stay with me, Dad, as long as you want.
Thank you, Adam. I leave you control of the company. You have a shrewd mind for business and you'll do really well.
Yeah, it'll be my honor, Dad. Thank you, thank you.
Dad, if he gets the company, what happens to me?
Jeff, I know how much you love to travel the world. I leave you half of my material wealth to use as you see fit.
Oh my goodness, this is unbelievable. Thank you so much.
I worked all my life to provide you with this. Please enjoy it.
We sure will.
My brothers left the room arm in arm, celebrating their new fortune. Why are you doing this, Dad?
It's time, Savannah. Which brings me to what I want you to have.
I don't want anything more from you.
Excuse me?
I'm thankful for the life you gave me, but I can't stop wishing you'd done things differently. I don't want your fortune, and I can't be a part of your business. I don't think I could sleep at night knowing I'm scamming people. I just want to do things on my own. Dad looked beyond furious. He just exploded.
After all I've done for you, this is how you thank me.
Dad, calm down. You'll give yourself another heart attack.
As if you care. You look down on me now, huh? And if you want nothing, fine. Get out.
Of course I care.
Enough. You're a stranger to me now. I have no daughter. Just get out.
I walked out that day and began a life on my own, and it was not easy, especially since I'd grown up like a princess. The scholarship paid for my tuition, but I had to work 2 jobs after school to pay for everything else. I survived, though, and only got stronger. I never heard from my family, but occasionally I'd see my brothers in magazines or on TV, showing up at charity events and flashing their wealth. But I never saw my dad. Slowly, I even started selling my artwork on the side. I hit the jackpot when I was discovered by a renowned painter, and she got me my first gallery show. That's where I met a lovely guy named Chase, and it wasn't long before we fell in love. He proposed after I graduated, and I happily said yes. At our engagement party, he asked me to call my family.
This is the biggest moment of our lives. They should know.
They could have called me any time.
Please, Savannah, don't let pride keep you apart. Someone has to be the first to call. Let it be you.
Okay, I'll try. That's the best I can do. I called Adam the next day, reaching him at the office. His secretary left me on hold for 20 minutes before he finally picked up.
Yeah, what is it?
Hello to you too. I'm getting married, Adam.
So why are you telling me?
I thought you might want to come.
Come on, Savannah. I don't have time for this.
Gosh, I knew this was a mistake.
You chose your life and walked away. Don't be mad at us now. Is that all?
Where's Dad?
Who?
Are you serious? Where is he?
Who knows? He got mad and left. Ask Jeff.
I called Jeff and reached him on his private plane.
Dad was a real drag. I had to cut him loose.
Cut him loose?
Let him go. Last I saw him, he was roaming around downtown.
What? You mean he's homeless?
I don't know. If you want to find him so bad, do it yourself.
I was shaking with rage, and I threw the phone across the room and burst into tears. Chase came running in and hugged me. We have to find him, Chase. We need to go now.
Find who?
My dad. It was pouring rain that night, but I didn't care. We drove through the streets of downtown Chicago, visiting homeless shelters and looking in back alleys, but he was nowhere to be found. How could they just let him leave? Is money that important? More important than family, and I should have stayed in touch.
You did what you had to do, love. He told you to leave, but don't lose hope yet. We'll look again tomorrow and report him missing to the police. Let's go home now.
But when we reached our house, I saw a man slumped near the front door. I jumped out of the car, my heart pounding. Dad! He looked up, so much paler and thinner than I remembered.
Savannah, I am so sorry.
Chase and I took Dad inside, sat him by the fire, and served some hot soup. When he'd regained some strength, he finally started to talk.
Your brothers only wanted my money, Savannah. I tried to advise Adam on a business deal, and he screamed at me saying it was his company, and he didn't want an old man around. Then I went to stay with Jeff, and he said I ruined the vibe. I had nowhere to go.
You could have called me.
How could I? After the way I treated you, and it's my fault those two have turned out this way. I made them greedy and selfish like me. I was just too ashamed to face you.
Until that moment, it carried so much anger and hurt. But seeing him there, looking so frail, it just melted away. I love you, Dad. You're safe now. You're home. We spent the evening talking. He spent a lot of time with Chase and looking at my art.
You made a beautiful life for yourself.
Yes, I did. Chase and I converted our spare office into Dad's bedroom, and we got to know each other all over again. All these years later, we were family once more, but in the back of my mind, I still had so much resentment toward Adam and Jeff. I couldn't concentrate on my art, and Chase noticed that I wasn't being myself.
You're gonna see your brothers, aren't you? What are you gonna say?
I don't really know, I'm just so angry with them, but I think I have to do this.
Then you should, Savannah, and no matter what happens, you'll have a family here waiting for you.
The next day, I went to Adam's massive office building. I was prepared to scream at him, hit him, destroy him somehow. But when I walked into his vast office, I found him standing by the window, staring out at the city. His back was hunched like he was really tired. He turned around, and I was shocked. He looked 10 years older than his age.
I have 5 minutes. Savannah, what do you need?
I found Dad.
Great job. Is that all?
Adam, are you happy?
I have no family, no free time. I sleep in the office most nights trying to do more and more and more. When you reach this level, Savannah, personal happiness is irrelevant. It's all about the next deal.
Why do you do it?
What other choice do I have? What else is there?
You have one last chance to set things right, Adam. You can choose to take it. I set a wedding invitation on his desk and left. In the afternoon, I stopped by Jeff's $1 million apartment. There was nothing warm or homey about it. It just looked like a cold hotel room. He was sitting on a white couch, staring at the ceiling.
I'm leaving for Europe in the morning.
What are you doing this time?
How many parties can you go to? How many vacations are enough? Nobody's really my friend. They just like me for the trips, for the yacht parties, for the money. I just want something meaningful.
You have one last chance to have that, Jeff. Think about it. And I left a wedding invitation on the edge of the couch. A month later, Chase and I were married in a beautiful garden venue on a gorgeous spring day. But that's not the most important part. The most important part was that of my brothers apologized to me and begged for Dad's forgiveness. And now, my father was walking me down the aisle on my wedding day, and my brothers were smiling at me from the front row.
Hi, my name is Laurel, and my dad's a famous Hollywood star and a crazy one. Even though he gave me everything a little girl could dream of, there was something I wanted more than anything else in the world. But before continuing the story, please like and subscribe. On my 5th birthday, when Dad asked me what I wanted for a present, I said I wanted a mommy.
Oh, what? Who taught you the M word?
Dad, I'm 5, not stupid. Everyone has a mommy.
But I'm your mom. I've looked after you ever since you were a baby. Why do you want a mom when I'm your dad? How about I take you to Disneyland instead?
I want a mommy.
You're being ridiculous. Besides, I don't even know who your mommy is.
What do you mean, Daddy?
I dated a bunch of women at the same time. I really don't know who the mother is. I just found you at my door one day, but I had the DNA test and you are for sure my own daughter.
I didn't really understand what he was saying, but after that day he started distracting me with the craziest trips and presents so that I'd forget all about the M word. As if on Mother's Day, the kindergarten teacher told everyone to make cards for their moms. Well, hello! How rude! I don't have one, but I didn't let it bother me and decided to make a poster instead. Mom wanted for cute daughter, a famous actor. My teacher thought it was really funny, so when I went home, I told my social media manager to post a picture of it on my Insta account. The next day, I woke up to Dad yelling,
Laurel, why are there a woman outside with CV to be my wife?
I ran to the window and sure enough, there was a whole crowd of women outside the house. Dad had to call on security to get rid of them. He was really mad about my little stunt. But the next day when I came home from school, Dad was sitting with a very pretty woman. As soon as she saw me, She threw her arms around me and started to cry.
I'm your mom, of course. I'm so sorry I left you. You don't even recognize your own mother now?
I suddenly felt overwhelmed with emotions and hugged her back. Are you really my mommy? Where were you? I missed you so much. Even wear your necklace every day.
Oh, darling, I saw your ad and I just couldn't stay away from you anymore.
Dad told me Mom was his girlfriend when he started acting right after college. She'd been too poor to keep me, so she left me with him, but now she was back. Over the next few months, I was busy making up for all the time I'd lost with Mom. Since Mom was a struggling actress, we spent a lot of time watching movies and playing dress up. But then things started to change. Dad helped Mom get a movie and then another, and soon enough, she was too busy for me. But then one day when I was in the 4th grade, she forgot to pick me up again, and I felt really mad. I was about to walk back home in the rain when someone stopped me.
Where's your mom, sweetie?
I looked up. It was Miss Maisel. She has started teaching here just recently and was the prettiest teacher in the world. I don't know. She forgot to pick me up again. When we called Mom, her secretary said,
"We're on our way to the Bahamas for an important shoot. Ask your teacher to drop you."
When Miss Maisel dropped me at my door, I told her to wait and meet my dad. He'll give you his autograph, and if you're lucky, maybe a kiss too. But when I came back with Dad, she was gone. That night, I stayed up making a thank you card for her. But when I went to school the next day, the other teacher said she had moved. I was bombed the whole day at school. But when I got home, I had the craziest surprise waiting for me. I could hear yelling and screaming from inside the house.
No, you wish. You're a liar.
Takes one and no one.
I rushed in to find Mom and Dad fighting while a woman sat in the corner crying. The minute she saw me, she jumped up and hugged me.
My baby. Look at her all grown up now.
I tried to push her away, but she just clung to me and started bawling.
I'm your mama. Believe me, she's lying. You remember me, don't you?
Both my mom started fighting and I ran up to Dad. What's going on? Who's that and why is she calling herself my mom? Dad said this was his college girlfriend and first through love, but they'd broken up just before he started dating my actress mom.
Darling, tell her to get out. You know I'm Laurel's mom.
Oh, please, it's me. Remember the love we had?
Dad turned red and looked dazed and threw up his hands.
I don't care. You will stay. Let Laurel pick her mom. I already have a girlfriend.
With that, he barged out of the room and both the woman turned to me with blazing eyes and gulped and stepped back. Uh-oh. For the next few days, I was super confused. I had not one but two mothers and they were both determined to show me who loved me more. I suggested to take the DNA test, but Dad refused and said,
Well, your mom is the one who loves you more.
I started to feel that my dad was crazy and he was enjoying this, and things got really crazier. Every morning I'd wake up to not one, but two amazing breakfasts. My new mom owned a salon and whisked me off to manicures and makeovers, which made my old mom feel really insecure. So she was now taking me out to fancy cafes and shopping sprees. I was loving all this mom-daughter time. One day when I was in the 7th grade, my old mom came to me and asked if I wanted to play dress-up with her. Mom, I'm not 4 anymore. I'm 13.
Yeah, you're right. How about we go to one of my parties?
Are you for real?
Yes.
Absolutely not. My daughter is not going to go to some adult party.
What? No, I'm going with my mom.
I am your mom.
No, you're not. I am.
Before I knew it, they were at each other's throats again. Gosh, will you two just stop? I'm getting really tired of this. I stormed off to my room and slammed the door. But on my very first day of high school, I saw someone I thought I'd never see again. Miss Maisel. I ran up to her, almost afraid she'd have forgotten me. But the minute she saw me, she hugged me tight. He just laughed. I thought I'd never see you again.
Well, I'm back, and now you'll see me every day because I'm your principal.
I don't know who says high school sucks, but mine had just started out pretty great. I was friends with the principal already. Everybody in class seemed to be really friendly too, especially the boys. By the end of the day, I've been asked out by the captain of the swim team, Brad, and I wasn't complaining. I started spending a lot of my free time with Miss Maisel in her office, and she would sometimes help me with schoolwork. She was rather appalled when she saw just how bad my grades were.
Don't your mom and dad say anything?
No, my mom's and dad says I don't need to study a word.
We'll see about that. Missy, you need to work harder and spend less time with that Brad.
Who is she? My mom? On the day of the prom, Dad asked me why I look so excited. I'm going to prom with the captain of the swim team.
What? No, you can't date any boy. No daughter of mine is dating a jock and coming home pregnant.
But Dad, it's just a dance.
I said, no, I'll be watching you.
And he wasn't kidding. He practically set up camp at the front door. As I was thinking about how to escape that evening, suddenly, both my moms came into my room.
Your dad's being stupid. Every girl deserves to go to her prom.
We're going to help you, sweetie.
Mom, too? gave me the cutest dress and great makeover. And then Mom 1 put her acting skills to good use. She went to the kitchen, let out a shrill scream, and pretended to faint while Dad went running to her. I slipped out the door and ran off, grinning. My moms were the best. When I walked into the hall, I instantly had boys swarming over and asking me to dance. Thanks, but I'm here with Brad. Guys.
Are you sure? I think he's here with someone else.
Just then, I caught sight of Brad with his arms around the cheerleading captain and he was kissing her. I pulled them apart and demanded to know what was going on.
What do you mean?
You are my boyfriend. Why is your face stuck to her face?
I don't know. I don't like you.
I'm sorry, what?
Yeah, you're cute and rich and an actor's daughter, but I don't know, I like her better.
I was furious. You horrible, horrible jerk. As I was busy pulling his hair, I heard Miss Maisel say,
What is the meaning of this, Laurel?
Immediately, I let him go and turned to her, angry tears streaming down my face.
What wrong?
Just back off. What are you, huh? My mom? I rushed past her to the bathroom. I felt like such a fool. A minute later, Miss Maisel joined me. I looked at her and burst into tears as I told her everything. She told me I could do so much better than a dumb jock like Brad.
Pretty boys can be a pain, really. Look for people who are kind.
After a while, I stopped crying. She had a point. Suddenly, she reached into her bag and offered me a chocolate. That's my favorite. Thanks, Mom. I gasped. Had I just called the principal? Mom? Could I be any lamer? But to my surprise, Miss Maisel suddenly hugged me.
Think of me like your mom, always.
Miss M, I have two. As I pulled away, my necklace got caught in hers, and then everything came crashing down. The necklace she was wearing was the other half of mine. What the? Why do you have that?
Oh, Laurel, wait, let me explain.
Oh no, don't freaking touch me. You. It's you. You're my mom, aren't you? You lying, horrible woman. I hate you. And with that, I ran home in complete shock. I'd seen her, my mother, and the two women who fought over me every single day had both been lying. As soon as I got home, I barged into Dad's room. They are lying. They're both liars and gold diggers, Dad. I saw her, my mother. She has the other half of my necklace. I told him everything and both moms looked like they'd passed out. Dad looked furious.
I knew one of you was lying. That's why I let you stay in my house, but you were both lying.
They both burst into tears telling me they loved me. I told them to save it and turned to Dad. It doesn't matter anymore. You were right all those years ago. Mothers freaking suck. You're my only family, Dad. Just then, the maid announced Miss Maisel was here to see Dad. As she came in, I looked at Dad to see his reaction, and to my shock, he jumped up and hugged her. What? He said she was the sister of his dead college best friend. Dad, it's her. She has a necklace. She's my mom.
Impossible. We never dated.
Of course, we never dated, but you were with my sister for a while, and then you decided you guys were better off as friends, remember? Then she had Laurel, and after she passed away, our mom left Laurel at your door.
Miss Maisel said after a while she'd come looking for me because she promised my real mom she'd look after me.
But I thought telling Laurel would upset her, so I just kept a look from afar. That necklace was something I gifted your mom. That's why I had the second half.
For a minute, Dad and I were stunned, unable to believe what we were hearing. My real mom was gone. I burst into tears. Suddenly, Dad, my two moms, and Miss Maisel hugged me, promising to be there for me forever. What was her name?
Your mom's name was Sandra.
I asked for her picture. When I saw her face, I could see how much we looked alike, and it made me miss her even more. Years passed. I moved forward from the loss of never knowing my birth mother and forgave all the people who had lied to me, and today is my wedding. And even though my own mom won't be here to give me away, I have one crazy dad and 3 wonderful women who love me very much to do just that. Before we end the conversation, I want to remind you that going outside without permission is not good, and it's very dangerous to go out alone. Personal safety comes first.
I was in 4th grade when the teacher asked me to present my poem in front of the class. I was doing so well when suddenly the whole room started to stink. Goodness, that fart could ruin lives. Someone from the back jokingly said,
Ha 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 ha! I bet it's Tina.
What? No, it's not me.
Look at her face. Of course it's her.
I kept protesting, but no one believed me. The teacher told me to leave the class and sent me to the bathroom. When I looked in the mirror, it suddenly hit me why everyone thought it was me. Hi, my name is Tina, and I have something called idiopathic craniofacial erythema, where simply put, I blush a lot. It might sound cute, but I turn crazy red whenever I feel anything. Whether I'm embarrassed, guilty, stressed, angry. Just name an emotion and I'm a tomato. Please like and subscribe before I tell you how this condition changed my life forever. It was never easy to have everyone know what I was feeling, but it got even worse when Dad started working as a janitor at a posh private high school, and I got enrolled for free. But Dad, I don't think I'll fit in. They're all probably billionaires, and they'll just turn up their noses at me when they find out you work there.
I don't want you to tell anyone that I'm your dad, okay? I don't want anything to be harder for you, and you're just as smart and deserving as any kid out there. So don't let anyone make you feel otherwise.
But as expected, school was a nightmare. On my first day, the school queen, Diane, and her gang immediately noticed me. Their eyes were scanning me up and down, and it was really freaking me out.
You're pretty, but do you own a private island?
Oh, is that a requirement here?
Not really, but everyone here is rich. So I'm just checking which richness level you belong to.
I felt so annoyed. I turned as red as her lipstick, but they thought I was just embarrassed.
Aw, you're blushing. Don't worry, I'm the only one who has a private island. But at least tell me you have a private jet.
One of her minions butted in.
I don't think she does, Diane. Look at that cheap secondhand bag from Walmart.
Diane looked horrified. Yes, of course, I do. Who doesn't have a jet these days? I came in the limo because the jet has gone for maintenance. Just then, I saw my dad mopping the floor nearby. And even though he was poker-faced, I'm pretty sure he'd heard me.
Boring. But since you're pretty, you can join our gorgeous gang. We'll make your school experience beautiful like me.
Suddenly, someone whispered.
Good luck.
I turned around and instantly started blushing. Oh my, he was the cutest guy I'd ever seen.
Hi, I'm Brian.
He greeted me and I could feel my face turning red.
Ew! Why are you so red? You look like a stupid tomato.
Forget about the gorgeous gang. I don't want a freak with us. She's probably simping hard on Brian.
Well, Brian is only available for me, right, babe?
Come on, Diane. How many times do I have to tell you that we're not together?
Yeah, I hear you, babe.
I was so relieved to hear that Brian didn't like Diane, but I was sure it was becoming way too obvious to him that I was crushing hard. So I excused myself and ran away. I knew I'd have to avoid him, but that wasn't easy when we had all our classes together. During chemistry, he sat down next to me. Just then, the teacher started demonstrating sugar dehydration and asked us why sugars turned into black toothpaste after sulfuric acid is added. Everyone looked at her like she'd spoken Chinese. But I knew the answer. Because the sulfuric acid removes water from the sugar, releasing heat, steam, and sulfur oxide fumes. It also smells like caramel. Everyone looked uber impressed. Just then, Brian scooted closer to me and whispered,
I didn't know your brain is as pretty as your face.
Immediately, I turned horribly red.
You, what's wrong with you? Is that thing infectious?
I could see the girls snickering. What a total jerk. My blushing disease wasn't the only thing that was ruining things at school. It wasn't long before Diane realized I'd never worn anything that screamed $1 million. One day in the canteen, she suddenly came up to me and knocked my lunch tray off the table.
I've been watching you go to school every day and you're just walking.
I instantly turned red, totally furious. Before I could attack her, Dad was suddenly by my side.
That's an awful thing to do to a new student, Miss.
Diane looked like she was about to explode.
Excuse you. Who are you, her dad? Just do your job, you stupid janitor. And that's to clean up our mess. Here's some more for you.
And with that, Diane suddenly kicked the cart and spilled all the chemicals and trash onto the floor.
Do your work properly, or I'll tell my parents they can easily get you kicked out of here.
That's not how you should treat janitors, Diane. They work really hard to make sure the school is nice and clean for us. In fact, you shouldn't be allowed to speak like this to anyone.
Avenue. So am I supposed to cry and hug him for giving me his lame opinion?
No, but you're supposed to treat hardworking people with respect. Imagine how you'd feel if someone treated you that way.
And why do I need to imagine that? I'm pretty rich. I'm never going to be a janitor. I'm going to be sitting in a nice big office one day, running Daddy's business.
The principal, Miss Sheldon, suddenly arrived and asked what was going on. Diane immediately transformed into an angel.
Oh, nothing. The janitor just spilled his stuff and I was helping him.
She's lying. She kicked his things on purpose and was being horrible to him. I was sure Miss Sheldon was going to tell her off, but she just looked uncomfortable and told everyone to go to their classes. I was so angry that she didn't stand up for Dad just because Diane's rich parents gave a lot of donations to the school. That night, Dad surprised me with a beautiful birthday cake.
Yeah, happy birthday, sweetheart.
I'd completely forgotten I was turning 17 today. Thank you, Dad. I'm really sorry about how horrible Diane was to you. I wish I could just punch her in the face. Even the principal didn't do anything.
I'm sure she didn't have a choice, honey. She can't afford to make someone like Diane's parents angry.
But that's so unfair.
Well, I'm sure when you're rich one day, you'll treat people around you much better. Now don't worry about it anymore and open your gifts.
I was shocked to see some branded bags, shoes, and clothes. How did you afford these?
I had some money saved up. This will hopefully get those girls off your back for a while.
I hugged him and promised myself that someday I was going to spoil him and make him proud. But a few months later, my world turned upside down when he suffered from a heart attack and fell into a coma. I didn't know what to do, and how was I going to pay the hospital bills? When I told the principal, I broke down into tears, and she comforted me.
You don't have to worry about anything, Tina. I'll talk to the school board and we'll still keep you in school free of charge.
That's really kind of you, but I have another favor to ask. Please hire me in Dad's place. I really need a salary.
Tina, I'm not sure you want to work here. Maybe I could lend you some money.
Thank you, Miss Sheldon, but I'd rather work for it. Please? She was hesitant, but eventually agreed to hire me, and she was generous enough to double Dad's salary. When Diane saw me in my uniform for the first time, she cackled with delight.
I knew it. You're the janitor's daughter. It's a shame to have a poor freak like you here in my school.
The only thing that's a shame is that there are people like you in the world. Now please get out of my way. In between classes, I'd mop the floor and clean everyone's trash, and whenever I did, Diane would be there to mock me. One time, she peeled a banana and threw the peel right at my face.
Oops, sorry. I mistook your face for a trash can.
One day, we were in the middle of an exam, and she excused herself to go to the bathroom. When she came back, she complained that the toilet was clogged, and I needed to go fix it. But I'm still answering my exam.
You're the janitor here, right? Do your work now.
I was furious. When I checked it, she had purposely stuffed a lot of tissue paper in the toilet. And even worse, she'd written the worst possible things on the bathroom walls. The next time Diane complained about the clogged toilet, I finally spoke up. Ugh, how long should I suffer from your constipation, Diane? I'm dying from the smell. Diane turned red with anger when others laughed.
I didn't poop, dummy.
Then why's the toilet always clogged? It was now her turn to blush and walk out in embarrassment. One day, when I was in the janitor's closet, I was surprised to see a boy coming in with a paper bag on his head. But I knew exactly who he was. Brian, why are you wearing that?
Because you blush hard every time you see my handsome face.
Oh, wow. Not only was he a little jerk, but he was also really full of himself. He got rid of the paper bag and held my hand. Surprisingly, I felt nothing.
Listen, what you did with Diane a while ago was so cool. It was the first time someone stood up to her, and I'm impressed. Do you want to hang out sometime?
I was about to say no when suddenly he leaned in for a kiss. I was blushing now, but in panic. Before our lips touched, the closet was suddenly opened by a super jealous Diane.
You're gonna pay for hitting on my future boyfriend, Tina. You'll see.
One evening, when I was studying for a big test, the principal called me.
I'm really sorry, Tina, but the jocks and the cheerleaders had a big party at the gym, and we need the place clean for an assembly tomorrow morning. It shouldn't take too long.
But when I got to school, I realized to my horror that not just the gym, but the whole school was a total mess. There was trash everywhere and stuff written on the walls. All the toilets were also clogged with tissue paper. Of course, I knew the culprit. I had to finally teach Diane a lesson. I took pictures of all the mess. Then I went to her locker and opened it up using a hairpin. I grinned when I saw what was in there. There was still room for a few things, so I took out the tissue papers from all the toilets and stuffed them in her precious locker. Perfect. Then an idea came to mind. I sneaked into the laboratory and mixed up a few chemicals together. I put my formula on a sponge and wiped it across the wall. The ink came off instantly. I sat down to rest for a while and I just fell asleep there. The next morning, I woke up to everyone gathered around me, and Diane was screaming.
That freak ruined my locker. She did it.
The principal walked into the scene. It's true I did that, Miss Sheldon. But look at what she and her minions did to the school before I cleaned it all up. Ms. Sheldon looked horrified to see the pictures on my phone. She turned angrily to Diane.
Diane, you have no respect for the people who work here or for the school property. If you think I will keep tolerating such behavior, you are very much mistaken.
Ms. Sheldon, you know who my parents are, right?
Yes, I do. And I will be calling them right now. I'm going to talk to the school board about having you expelled.
Everyone around us erupted into cheers as Ms. Sheldon and a very furious Diane walked into her office. She had been bullying everyone way too long. Long story short, Diane was expelled, and even her minions were suspended. I was about to graduate high school in a few months, and I kept thinking about the formula that I tried in the school lab. I continued testing it at home, and after a few weeks, I felt I'd really perfected it. I set up a website and put up a small video of me cleaning the toughest stains with my invention, and to my surprise, it went viral. I had orders pouring in so fast, I was working day and night to meet the demand. 2 weeks later, an investor contacted me, and fast forward to a couple more months, I was earning millions. I transferred Dad to a better hospital, and just a month later, he finally woke up. I told him everything that happened.
I'm so proud of you, Tina.
I went off to college, but Dad and I continued my business together and moved into a mansion. We supply our invention to a lot of schools for free to make the jobs of janitors easier everywhere. Oh, and I also found out that my condition could be easily fixed by a small surgery, and I could certainly afford it now. Finally, I could keep some secrets.
Hi, my name is Kane, and I'm from Brazil. Please like and subscribe to Luna Avita. Even though my parents were poor, I always had big dreams as a kid. When I was 8, my best friend Gangle and I used to sit at the bus stop on the weekends and would admire all the fancy cars that would drive past. Wow, did you see that? BMW? I want one like that when I grow up.
I believe you'll drive a car like that one day, Kane. Remember what our teacher said? If you believe it, you will have it.
Gangle also came from a poor family, like me, and I cared about her a lot. Once, when we were in the 8th grade, she couldn't bring her lunch for the whole week because her parents were so broke. And even though she came up with all sorts of excuses not to take my lunch, I wasn't going to leave my friend to starve.
Kane, I'm not that hungry. Please, I don't want to take your lunch.
You know you don't have to have pride with me. Come on, let's share.
Okay, but next week is my turn to share with you.
But when next week came, Gangle had more than enough to share with me since her dad got a big good job in the city.
I got us candy bars today.
Wow, thank you. I'm really happy that your family's doing well.
Yeah, and there's something else I need to tell you.
She looked a little sad, and then I felt sad when she told me.
We won't be living in the same place anymore. We're moving to the city, and I won't be in this school.
I was happy for Gangle because she was going to have a better life, but I was sad since she was my best friend. We promised to write to each other every month, but as time went by, she stopped writing, but I didn't. I started focusing a lot on my studies when Gangle left and became the top student in my school. When I was in 10th grade, I got selected to participate in a national math tournament. When I was at the tournament, I was so happy when I saw Gangle. She was also selected from her school. Gangle, she looks so beautiful now. Gangle looked at me like she didn't even know me. Or maybe it was because I also look different. It's me, Kane.
Oh, hi. It's been a while.
She looked down at my shoes and made a face of disgust.
I'm guessing you're still stuck at the poor people's location.
If that's what you call it.
Okay. I have to go. My friends are waiting.
That was not the Gangle I knew, but I didn't let that distract me. During the tournament, I beat all the kids, even the rich ones from Gangle's school.
Well done, Kane.
Thanks, Gangle. And it was nice seeing you again. As I walked to the hallway, a tall man approached me. He was the principal of the most expensive school in the city. It was the same school Gangle went to.
Well done on your achievement today. I would love to have a student like you at my school.
Thanks, sir, but I don't think my parents can afford your school for now.
You would definitely qualify for a scholarship, and I could help you with that.
When I told my parents about the offer I got from the principal, they were so happy. Dad immediately spoke to one of his friends who lived closer to the school to accommodate me, and he gladly accepted. After a month, I moved into Dad's friend's house. He had a daughter who was my age, Pomni, and she was on another level of always being happy.
I've always been an only child in this massive house. It's just me and my father. I'm so glad to finally have someone to talk to. Come on, I want to show you our swimming pool. I've won 5 gold medals. It's because I practice every day.
Thanks, but swimming is not my thing.
What? Swimming should be everybody's thing. What would you do if the world comes to an end and the entire earth gets flooded? It has to be everybody's thing. Then I'll teach you. Let's go.
Pomni was so persistent about everything I did, everything she asked me to do since her father was super kind to me. She never mentioned her mom, and I didn't want to intrude. When Pomni and I entered the school gates together, all eyes were on us, and I didn't understand why.
Oh my gosh! Everyone thinks I'm dating the new hot guy.
Which new hot guy?
You silly! You're really cute. Don't you know that?
I blushed when she said that because I never really paid attention to how I looked, since I focused so much on getting high grades. And then as we walked into our next class, all the girls started tapping the seat next to them.
Hey, new guy, you could sit next to me.
Oh no, you should really sit next to me. I have all the answers to everything.
Pomni suddenly hid behind me when she saw Gangle walk in, and then she took my hand.
He'll sit next to me. We come from way back. Isn't that so, Kane?
I saw Gangle glare at Pomni sternly, and she quickly ran to her seat and didn't look at me for the rest of the day. Gangle pulled me along with her everywhere in school, and because I missed her so much, I stuck with her.
I'm so happy that you're in my school, Kane, but we got to get you some new shoes, okay?
But these are my favorite shoes, Gangle.
I know, but change is good sometimes. Look at me. I live a fabulous life, which starts with how we look.
Pomni walked past me and Gangle like she didn't even know me, and when I saw her after school to find out what was up, she acted like everything was normal. Hey, you suddenly avoided me. What happened?
Nothing. I just wanted to give you and Gangle your space. She seems to really like you.
Yeah, we're old friends. Are you afraid of Gangle?
No, she's just this popular girl who gets everything she wants. And I don't want any trouble at school, so we could just be friends at my house.
Okay, if that's what you want. The next day at school, Gangle immediately approached me and took me to a quiet place. And then she took a new pair of sneakers from her bag for me. I felt very uncomfortable taking them. But these are my favorite shoes, Gangle.
Kane, it's rude not to take a gift. You know that. Remember that time you made me share your lunch and I took it?
Yeah, but I was helping.
Take my gift, Kane, please.
I looked at her eyes, and she looked like she was about to cry, so I took the shoes. But it didn't stop there. Gangle changed my whole look, and I kind of liked it, but hanging out with her and her friends felt awkward. Like this one time when we were in 12th grade, they invited me to a beach party, and when I decided to bring Pomni along, Gangle acted like she owned me.
Kane, can I speak to you alone, please?
She seemed angry, and I left Pomni waiting for me.
Why did you bring her to a party that I invited only you to?
I live in her house, and she's my friend, so I thought it'd be okay.
Well, it's not okay, and I'm not happy. You were my friend first. In fact, I think I like you more than a friend now.
Gangle suddenly kissed me, which caught me off guard. Before I could react, my phone rang, and it was my dad. Sorry, I have to take this. My dad called to tell me that in a month's time, they would be losing the house because he lost his job. Gangle could see that I wasn't okay. And because I was so worried, I ended up telling her everything.
So you're going to be homeless?
No, I won't allow that to happen.
Well, I don't know how you will do anything since you're still in school, but if you send Pomni back home and tell her that she's a loser, then I'll speak to my dad to help your family.
What? I can't do that. Pomni's family is helping me, and she's a good person.
She's a freak, Kane, and you're hot and smart, and I want you all to myself.
I was so turned off with Gangle. She wanted me to hurt another person for no reason, and I just couldn't do it. I went back home with Pomni, and she was happy to get out of the party because it wasn't her vibe either.
Maybe we can go get some ice cream.
Yeah, let's do that.
What did Queen Gangle say? You look so unhappy after you spoke to her.
Don't worry about it. I don't think I'll be hanging around her anymore. After our fun ice cream date, I started growing really fond of Pomni. She was sweet and accepted me for who I am. She was still very hyper about many things, but I started loving that about her. And then after the weekend, when I went back to school, everyone looked at me differently. Even the girls who used to drop hints at me now looked at me like some poor Pathetic boy.
I can't have a homeless boy in our school.
I spotted Gangle talking to a group of kids. I stood behind her. She was talking about me.
Kane is a total fake. I had to buy him clothes and shoes because his family is going to be homeless soon.
Wow. But how can someone so hot be so poor?
Gangle, how could you do this?
Oh, speak of the poor devil.
She looked at me coldly, and then I took off the shoes she bought me and threw them in her face. Congratulations, Gangle. Money has turned you into a real witch. I walked away from her and Pomni ran after me.
Kane, wait. Don't throw your education away because of her. Gangle did something really humiliating to me once before, and that's why I stay away from her and whatever she wants.
What did she do to you, Pomni? Pomni started crying and I hugged her. Then she told me that she was the popular girl at school once before, and Gangle was her best friend until she told everyone her big secret.
Gangle kept asking about my mom, and then I told her something my family never shared with anyone. My mom is in a mental institute. Gangle told everyone at school. From that day, everyone called me a mental case.
Oh, Pomni, why didn't you tell me this before?
Because I didn't want you to think that I was a mad person. I'm not my mother. I'm me.
After what Pomni told me, I wanted nothing more to do with Gangle. I completed my last year of high school with Pomni by my side, and her dad also helped my parents not lose the house. Thank you so much for all that you did for my family. I hope to pay you back one day, sir.
You have a bright future ahead of you, Kane, and it was a pleasure having you in my house.
I'm going to miss you so much.
I got a scholarship to study medicine in one of the most prestigious universities abroad, and my school helped my parents pay for my flight tickets since I was the best student they ever had. I worked hard in university and became one of the best heart doctors in the world, and when I went back to Brazil to visit my parents, I also paid a visit to Pomni and her father.
Kane, I'm so glad to see you.
Pomni looked emotional. What's wrong?
My dad is in the hospital. It's his heart.
I spoke to the head of the hospital that Pomni's father was in, and I was ready to do anything to save him. While I was at the hospital, one of the nurses suddenly approached me.
Kane.
I couldn't recognize her since she had her hair covered up, and when I looked closer, it was Gangle. Hello, Gangle.
Wow, you're a doctor now?
Yes, and I'm a very busy person, so please excuse me. I walked past her, and I could feel her eyes still on me. But she was someone I forgot about a long time ago. After my successful operation on Pomni's father, he couldn't stop thanking me, and I was happy that I was able to do something good for him and Pomni.
Kane, you are like my angel. You always come into my life at just the right time. When I was lonely back at high school, you filled up my life, and today you saved my father.
I comforted Pomni, then suddenly Gangle walked towards me. What can I do for you, Gangle?
I just wanted to say I'm sorry to both of you.
She looked really sincere, so Pomni and I forgave her. She asked if we could have dinner together. I looked at Pomni, and she nodded, so we hung out together. As we sat in a restaurant, we actually enjoyed ourselves, and when Pomni excused herself to go to the bathroom, Gangle confessed to me.
I still love you, Kane. I don't know what came over me in high school, but I've changed now.
I'm sorry, Gangle, but I'm in love with Pomni, and that's why I came back to Brazil. Gangle understood and then got up and left.
Where's Gangle?
She's gone, so it's just the two of us. I stepped forward, Pomni's, looked into her eyes, and told her how I felt. Pomni, will you go out with me on a real date?
Oh, yeah. So I guess I did get the hottest guy in school after all.
She always knew how to make me blush. Never let your current situation determine your future. When life throws you lemons, make sweet lemonade.
People call me the Queen of Entertainment, a famous pop icon, a musical superstar. You can take your pick. As for me, I like to be called the Queen of Hearts. Hi, I'm Verosica Mayday, and I'm from Florida to overachiever parents who were super successful in their careers. Right, since I was a toddler, I loved to sing. Mom would sing me lullabies, and I'd sing along with her.
You have a beautiful voice, my baby. Just like an angel.
I'm not so sure I didn't get selected for the school choir.
Don't let that dishearten you, sweetheart, and have confidence in your talent. I'm sure you're meant for great things.
Although I loved singing, I was also fascinated by theater and acting. I performed on stage for the first time when I was 8 in a musical named Annie.
Are you nervous, Vero?
No, not at all. In fact, I can't wait to set the stage on fire. And I did just that. That musical was a great success, and it marked the beginning of my musical theater journey. After that, I performed in so many other local productions like Beauty and the Beast and The Wizard of Oz. Life was going smoothly, but then my parents got separated. I felt devastated for a while, but thank God I had my pet dogs to keep me going through the tough phase. Just so you know, I have 10 rescue pups. One of them is named Sirius Black. Yeah, I'm quite obsessed with Harry Potter. But then, aren't we all? So, by the time I turned 14, I decided I'd acted enough and now wanted to make a career in singing. I packed my bags and moved to Los Angeles to meet my managers. Guys, I think I want to make an R&B album.
That's a hell of a goal, but who do you think's gonna buy a 14-year-old's R&B album?
Well, that kind of made sense. So I went back to Florida and decided to focus on theater. For the time being, then when I was 15, I got chosen from among thousands of girls to play one of the main characters in a Broadway musical called 13, for which I later bagged a prestigious award. By this time, I had moved to New York, so I was missing school a lot. Mom, I want to continue performing. But what about studies? I want to finish high school at least.
Don't worry, sweetheart. Your school has agreed to send study material so you don't miss out on your studies.
That was pretty cool. I was studying and focusing on my career, even though I was miles away from home. Then in 2009, I bagged the role of an adorable goofball named Cat Valentine in the famous Nickelodeon TV show named Victorious. Since the show was set in a performing arts school, it gave me an opportunity to showcase my acting as well as my singing abilities on a national platform. Thanks to the show, I was suddenly a teen idol.
So, Veronica, what's next? Are you looking at a career in Hollywood?
To be honest, acting is fun, but music has always been first and foremost with me. I was determined to give singing a shot, so I kept uploading my videos on YouTube, where I sang covers of songs by Adele, Mariah Carey, and Whitney Houston. Meanwhile, the second season of Victorious premiered in 2011 to 6.2 million viewers, becoming the highest-rated episode of the show. Victorious ran for 3 seasons until it was finally wrapped up in 2013. Then one day I got the most unexpected call.
Hello, Veronica. I'm Monte Lipman, CEO of Republic Records. I saw your YouTube videos, and I want to sign you up for the label. Are you interested?
Yeah, of course. I'd love that. I put down my phone and did a little happy dance. My music career was finally taking off. The next 3 years, I focused completely on my vocals and singing and collaborated with many contemporary artists. The result was my first album, Yours Truly, that debuted at #1 on the US Billboard 200 Albums chart, and it sold 138,000 copies in its first week. After that, there was no looking back for me. Today, I've sold over 85 million records worldwide, broke 27 Guinness World Records as a singer, bagged 2 Grammys, and was listed among the 100 most influential persons in the world by Time magazine. So, friends, I hope my story inspires you to never give up on your dreams. Since miracles happen, just believe in yourself. Because if you don't, who else will?